Hello, everyone! Welcome to episode 12 of our Black Flag campaign. We are playing Rapscallion, the Ashcan version of Rapscallion, the PBTA pirate game. Welcome, Raiders! Welcome, everyone! You are just in the nick of time. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and today I will be playing Nathaniel Ashworth, the swashbuckler and escort aboard the Salty Swallow, and apparently a releaser of demons. I don't know. But before we go into the game, before we introduce our cast, I would just like to thank all of our sponsors here at Wandering DM, beginning with Mage Press, the makers of the 5th edition campaign setting Dark Matter, which if you like sci-fi fantasy, you want to check out Dark Matter, and you want to check out Conspiracy in the Stars, which is their introductory adventure. It comes with a whole bunch of goodies. It's on Kickstarter at the moment. So be sure to check that out. Check out as well our... Thank you. Check out as well our other sponsor, Found Familiar, purveyors of fine coffee. I just got my order in yesterday, and I had ordered it a week ago, so they do very quick shipping, and if you use code WanderingDM, you get 10% off your purchase, and if you order for $50 or more of coffee, you get free delivery if you live on the continental United States. Otherwise, our other sponsor is, of course, Roll20, the virtual tabletop that we use here on Wandering DM for all of our adventures, all of our games. Check them out at roll20.net. And finally, check out our partners through the Diceomancy program, of course, Level Up Dice, if you want to get some fancy new dice made out of metal, stone, or semi-precious stones. We will also be giving away, we were supposed to do it this week, we'll do it next week, give away a set of custom branded Level Up Dice that come in a little metal puck. They're gorgeous. I don't have them with me at the moment, but stay tuned. We'll talk about that on Twitter this week. So without further ado, let's go and introduce our cast. Who are our wonderful player this Saturday? We'll begin with this side on the overlay, and we'll begin with our navigator.
Hi everyone, happy Saturday. I hope everybody's week was tolerable. I don't know if everybody has good weeks anymore. Anyway, today I'm up Dragon in chat, Twitter, and today I'm going to be playing Isaac Brown, the navigator for the Salty Swallow. And pray for us.
Up next is our captain.
Ahoy! You might know me as Alyssa. You might know me as Alexander Slamilton or Xander Slamilton on the things. I am Captain Renata de Rochefort today. And today I am in fear of not only all the demons we let out, but there's a storm on the horizon. And also everything Dia's been saying to us all week has been this vague, ominous sense of dread. And it's like, oh, cool. We're going to die today. Don't you drink that drink all seductively like that. You know what you're doing.
Up next is our Madelot.
That's me. Hi, I'm Lindy. I'm very excited to play Pirates today. It's been a whole week. I'm a whole real girl. There are so many consequences to explore, and out of character, Quentin and I have a plan. So, I'm sure this could only go well. Back to you.
And lastly amongst our players is our resident witch.
Hey, I'm Shauna Flanksters. I'm playing Corinne Haley, the ship's witch, and who might maybe finding what happens this week, maybe sacrifice the crew to release her demon lover. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Playing it by ear right now.
Hopefully not our crew, but that will be up to the fates to decide, and to play the fates in this game is Deirdre. Hi.
I don't decide things. They're just consequences to your actions and choices.
A likely story.
You know, it's what happens. But last week, you released a being, Nathaniel and Josie released a being. Nathaniel tried really hard, and then Josie loosened the bottle, or opened the bottle after he loosened it for her. Then we had, which was, I guess, a little bit interesting conversation. There was a very tense conversation between Isaac and Captain de Rochefort as Renata, established very much what happens when you attempt to mutiny on her ship. And then Corinne approached both Isaac and Nathaniel about what she would need to do about releasing her beloved. A demon trapped beyond this plane. But she has the pieces now, and she knows what she needs to do. But as we pulled the camera back yesterday, the storm, or last week I should say, the storm front that was threatening had broken on the horizon. And what none of the crew had realized as it was dark and the ship was rocking, as the seas tossed it about, your anchor had given way, and your ship was drifting away from this small islet off the coast of Granada. And now it's been a few hours in the storm, drifting for a while. But I need something to happen first before we do anything else. I need Corinne and Nathaniel to each roll me 2d6 and tell me what the total is. Because I should tell you, I spent most of this week writing tables. Lots and lots of tables.
Just 2d6?
Just 2d6 added together.
All right.
So that's...
I'm gonna have something shitty.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh.
eight.
Eight. Eight. Oh, eight. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because Blood Pact. Yeah.
Yeah, because Blood Pact. Yep, because the two of you decided to make a Blood Pact, promising to, work together, as Corinne promised, to protect Josie from one Ignatius Steele. But for Corinne, it was less about protecting Josie and much more about her beloved. So, we has an 8 and an 8. Cool. Cool. Good to know. Pin in that. Put a pin over there. But the storm has been raging for a while. The storm has been raging for a long while, about the last few hours. Daylight should have broken. Dawn should have come. And yet you are still under the dark, rolling clouds. All you see is that washed out rage of heavy storm front. Doesn't seem to have the wind power of a tropical storm or a hurricane, but it definitely has the rain and rage. A lot of lightning is lighting the sky around you. We're here. You were here where it says Granada, because effectively the little island you were was right off the Granada.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're about here.
Wow. Like middle of the Caribbean.
Yeah. And we were originally setting sail for Port Royal, was our plan?
You hadn't set sail for anywhere yet.
No.
Oh,
We
we're
had no
just in
plan.
the middle of the ocean now for no reason. Just because the storm sided, we're in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Somebody messed with our anchor. That's why we're floating out here.
No. Clarification for player knowledge. Nobody messed with your anchor. It just gave way.
Hmm.
I would still like to blame it on God if that's okay.
You can blame it on the fates, or more accurately, somebody very kindly donating for the fates to have some little toys. Because there are those donations that you can have below.
Yeah. You can donate to make everybody's day a store mess. or
Wow.
just send us yet another Kraken.
2 Krakens.
But that said, we're in the middle of the ocean now. And, are we in the storm? Or is it still rolling towards us?
No, you're in the storm. You've been in the storm for most of the night.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
It's why, Josie was soaked. It started raining when you were on the island.
That is true. Is everything secure on the upper deck?
As far as you're aware, there's not. It's not like you would leave cannons released or your sails open, but for the most part, yes, things are secure. It's just the ship is definitely rocking, and you can definitely see lightning strikes in open water, which isn't a good thing.
Does this seem like a natural or unnatural storm?
I mean, you've all been at sea for years. It seems like a very natural storm at a slightly unnatural time. Not outrageously so, but if you were a paranoid individual who was concerned about magic wreaking havoc upon the world, you might be concerned about something that looks like it should be a late August hurricane developing in May. You just haven't felt the winds that you would expect with a hurricane. And its size is massive. You feel like you should have been out of this storm front hours ago. But you're not.
Corinne's on deck, just walking on it like... It seems ill-advised, but she's trying to absorb as much as the storm as she can on her. She's also trying to figure out what this storm is, what it could mean.
I mean, you can attempt to commune with your demon if you want.
Of course, anytime. Anytime.
You can always attempt that.
Ah, yes. What is this? Yeah, this is not probably the most inspiring thing. It's Corinne just like walking like untethered on this thing, kind of muttering to herself.
Yes, the ship is definitely pitching a lot.
Mm-hmm. And she doesn't care. That's blood. Is that blood or is it
It's
vinegar?
bond with your demon.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's bond. I love it. Let's go. 12.
You, again, feel that kind of ghostly presence almost as you're rocking across the ship as it pitches port to starboard. It rises a little and you feel it lifting and rolling with the waves, the storm rocking the ship, and then you just feel like you're about to slide slightly to this, just feel that you're about to slide with the pitch, and an arm just kind of lifts underneath your elbow and draws you closer in. You don't see anyone, you just feel his presence around you. It feels like he just is blanketing you with almost a umbrella of sorts. You feel the wind a little bit less. The rain stops hitting directly on you. It's not like you're dry because you've been standing in a rainstorm for a while, but you aren't getting actively rained on currently.
Yes. I think she loves the storm because this is where she first felt his presence, and during storms like this, it's stronger. So she's always happy when there's like strong storms. She's always on deck. Just as happy as she's ever been.
So, do you have a question for your beloved as you feel him standing there?
This isn't you, is it? Or is it your friend? Your friend that was stuck with you.
No, not me or my companion of circumstance. Friend would not be the term I would use.
I stand corrected. But do you have any idea what this is?
Someone else has decided to play.
Your captor? Wanting to retrieve you back? The one that banished you.
Possibly. Smells like it. Their hubris. Their desire for control. Their wish of limiting everyone and everyone else around them to what their own small little minds can conjure.
Then we'll get through this. We'll not let anything stop us.
Not
even
at all.
him.
No.
And I trust I can rely on your help to get this vessel and the pieces safely. As much as you can. Is that right?
Of course, my dearest. I would not wish anything to come to harm. For you to come to any harm. Soon, we shall walk this world together and let those who would try to limit us feel the true wrath of our power.
Yes, and then we'll be together.
For eternity, my dear one.
Yes. And I think she'll like give the space. She'll like give that space a little bit of like a kiss, and just kind of let that presence like engulf her a little, like not steady herself.
You feel that presence kind of surround you, but it feels much more ephemeral, not as solid. Almost as if he's more present in this world, but he's not physically here yet, so he's pulling himself back a little bit. And you feel that presence slightly subside, but you still feel sheltered almost from the storm.
Yeah, that's trying to enjoy this, like this little manifestation as much as she can.
And as we pull the camera back from watching Corinne just kind of revel in this comfort provided by a demon, on the deck of a storm-tossed vessel, we pull back to Isaac. Where are you?
You would see Isaac like obviously like trying to balance himself, but he's on his way to the captain's quarters. So,
Captain!
Enter.
Captain, might I have a word with you for a bit
Yes, you're
about
Already here?
things?
seeing it here. Let it out. Freely.
All right, I'll close the door behind me, and I want to like and there's no one else in the room.
No, it's just the captain.
All right,
And the
Captain.
eyes of God. No.
Those are always upon me. Captain, I have some news. Worrying news. Not about the storm. That's entirely something different, probably.
Go on.
So I'm breaking a promise here. All right, just for you. I want you to know that for you, Captain.
This is already going swimmingly. Isaac, what is it?
So Corinne plans to release a demon and plunge the world into darkness, slavery, and utter chaos.
Wonderful. Great. Awesome. Wow. That's against how and why and also how.
How so there was something she found back in the cave that I never went to, that you guys just released all sorts of fun supernatural things.
I mean, release is a strong word for some. Well, apparently not.
No, literally released. Literally, like, you give me this and I set you free, being whom I don't know. And that's another thing. I'll get to that part. So, I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's a thing. Right?
Uh-huh.
Now, on another note, Josie traded freedom for a being in a bottle for a soul. I have no idea how any of this works.
She mentioned, but I thought that was just Josie for something her and Nathaniel, if I'm honest. Release a genie from a bottle.
Captain,
There's this going on, and you're telling me the world is going to be plunged in darkness by one of our own crew members. Is this the darkness? This storm is bad.
this is probably something else. It
Lovely.
could even be a natural storm. It just could be an anomaly. But I feel like, as the captain, you should probably address some of what's going on around here. Also, I need to borrow Steve. I need you to tell him to listen to me for several moments.
Okay. Now,
I need, so whatever Corinne has found something in the cave, I need Steve to steal it, because it's what he's good at. That's all he does, apparently, is steal things. His fingers just
rudes.
constantly grabbing and nipping at things.
Okay. Isaac, a few things. For one, you still did. I'm still not totally. I still haven't totally forgiven you for the whole attempted mutiny thing. So making a lot of demands from a man that is still on precarious terms. But
Captain, if you want to tie me up again, like I'm sure there's a later time we can explore that.
yeah. You wish. Listen, I'll talk to Corinne. That's and I will talk to Steve as well.
Huh?
I feel like I'm going to need help to talk to Corinne. Oh, I don't know why you're breaking this as promise. I don't know.
To save my hide with you. Look. So if
all right.
if everything is true here, right? I am choosing your side to not release the demon. Does that make sense?
Message. I will.
Now,
I will get Steve.
Now, but with talking to Corinne, I don't know how many people she has told about this. So if I'm just randomly here when you bring her in, she'll be like, "Oh, Isaac, you clearly told the captain." Curse.
Oh, I didn't mean like help me like that. Help me understand that. Why does everyone tell you secrets?
I don't know. It just happens. I just have one of those faces.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna like look at the burn on his face and be like, I guess you do, Isaac.
Technically, I know lots of things about most of the crew, but that's not the point. Sometimes people just need to talk about things. Sometimes it's very inconsequential. But this seems to have very big consequences.
Very well.
She was telling me about people bowing down to her and her demon, and that if I were to help them, that they would bow to me as well. But I was like, what about free will, Corinne? And she's like, it's overrated. And I was like, So I'm assuming, I'm hoping that you also want people to have the freedom of choice to not serve a demon.
Would be wise, yes. That certainly makes it harder to plunder if everybody's dead and gone. There's no fun in it. Where's the competition? All right, I will do as you ask, and I will use Steve. I assume I can mark you down for favor in the future. However,
Mark me down for what now?
favor.
I would owe you a favor.
You would owe me a favor. You're going to put my child in danger.
So, we don't know. You're just adopting him then? Is that what's going on?
Oh, absolutely. The figures are going to be drawn up in Port Royal. It'll be a whole thing. Absolutely. The adoption of Steve will happen. Steve will be a Rochefort.
But he's not yours yet. So technically, I'm just asking a member of the crew.
You're asking a member of the crew, but is this crew not a family, Isaac? Think about that for a second. A weird, tight-knit, questionable family.
Sure. Wait. No. Because two of the crew members are actively, like, engaged in a relationship. How close of a family are we talking here?
Like fourth or fifth cousins.
Okay, it's perfectly acceptable in this day and age.
It's not the blood that's the family, Isaac. It's the you know what? This metaphor is getting out, and I can see gears turning here. I will lend you my not adopted, but as far as I'm concerned, it's real son. And there you. And we'll discuss favor at another time.
I give her a wink as I leave the room.
Back of Captain's head. Is he signaling?
The camera follows Isaac as he leaves the captain's quarters for a moment. And it kind of proceeds on beyond him, below decks, to where do we find Nathaniel at the moment?
After just making sure that Corinne doesn't fall overboard, Nathaniel would head back down below decks to his quarters.
Okay.
And in his room by himself, Nathaniel would rehearse one-liners to say to Ignatius Steele when he confronts him.
I love this. Could you roll in me with polish just to see how this goes?
Sure. And he notes down the best in on a piece of paper or something. Polish, you said.
Yes.
9.
Ooh, 9. It is, I mean, you are very good at saying the right thing to the right person. So saying the right thing to the right person to make them angry or frustrated or upset, you are really kind of good at. You come up with some pretty decent ones. It looks mildly intimidating. And how are you doing? Are you doing this in like the mirror, you said?
I don't have a mirror. I'm just
Okay.
talking to my door.
As you're doing this, you're going through this, you're talking loudly at your door. There's a flash of something in the polish of the wood on the door. It kind of is supposed to be your reflection, as you would see it with that lightning strike hitting outside the bolt hole or the porthole of the ship. But it's not you staring back at you. And then it's gone in a moment, in a flash.
So what? Okay, that was weird. I will sit down on my bed.
You sit down. The storm rages outside. The lightning flashes again. And what do you do?
I'm going to... Yeah, get up in a hurry after that second flash. And thank Time of Gifts for all the subs. And after that's done, I'm going to open the door and go back up on deck to go confront Corinne.
The camera will follow you as you proceed up onto the deck, or at least partway. It kind of follows and then lifts above you until we see is this image of the deck of the ship being pummeled by rain, streaks of lightning flashing in the sky, the soaked and bedraggled figure of Corinne standing with her face to the storm over the prow of the ship as she's just a curtain of dark black and water moving around. There does not seem to be anyone else currently on deck. There would be someone at the helm, but you don't see anyone.
But there's Corinne.
But there's Corinne.
and nobody else.
Mm.
No one on deck.
Okay, but like, did I encounter anyone moving from below deck to up on deck?
No.
Or are we alone on...
Mm.
I will yell out, Corinne! Over the storm.
She will kind of like she'll kind of shake out of like a trance, like, and she'll walk over like, I'm sorry, what is it?
What's happening?
Oh, this is not my doing. As much as I enjoy these storms, it may be an ill portent. Someone is after us. I think this is partially their displeasure.
Not talking about the storm, I'm talking about my face. What's happening to my face? I saw my reflection during a flash, and I don't look like my beautiful self anymore. What did you do to me?
Oh.
Corinne,
Mm-hmm.
he looks exactly the way he always has.
Have you been drinking, Nathaniel?
I am unfortunately sober.
Because you have the same handsome countenance you've always had. I see nothing different.
No, I saw a flash in the lightning. That wasn't me in my room. There was...
You saw it in a flash of lightning.
Yes.
Because what I see is the same Nathaniel I've always seen. If this is not our storm, if this is his, who do you think he would be after? Took his daughter away from him. You might have just received a warning, my friend.
And Nathaniel would just look up to the sky in anger and shake a fist. Steel!
With, a very artful strike of lightning behind you
Yeah.
to kind of punctuate the moment.
Oh,
You know.
he must be quite displeased with us if this is partially the effect of what we have wrought here, what we have taken. What do you know of the man? I am unfortunately have to say that I know relatively little about him.
I don't know much either, aside from what Josie told me. He's an abusive asshole who created her for the sole purpose of murdering the people he was too cowardly to do by himself. He's a warlock of some skill, able to manipulate the minds and the bodies of others. Or maybe just the minds. I don't know. He's... I don't know much more about him.
In that statement that he said, I will be quite frank with you. You are wrong about one thing. He is not cowardly. When you send someone like Josie out with the power that he has, it is because he has more important things to do that he couldn't be bothered with doing. And with all your bravado, remember that murder was an afterthought for him. And take that caution. And if we do what we do and she'll hold out that hand, we may have a chance. and your beloved Josie will be free. You will be free of him. And who knows? There could be a spot open. Power vacuum in that absent throne. Who knows? You are wearing some of his jewelry. Could take more.
I could always go for more jewelry.
Provided we stay on this course, provided we survive this, it will happen, and we will get what we want. Things like this, we can't afford second guesses. We can't afford last second changes in motivation, in wishes. Because if you do that, we all die. And maybe not all die. We could end up like my beloved, like that, like the things kept in that treasure hoard forever. Not even death will save us.
Speaking of death. When do we get to speak to my father?
We do what we do. We complete the ritual. We will speak to your father.
What ritual? I thought, and I show up the hand. I thought this was the ritual.
I need to get back to Port Royal, to go to the beach, do a ritual, release. She'll point to her chest. I'm like, this ring. And then he will be free. Until we get there, I might have to keep my powers at a minimum to do what we can to make sure that Ignatius still doesn't know what we're doing.
And I'll go inquire with Isaac how early we can make it to Port Royal through this storm.
Well, I'll do what I can to make sure that we get there and this storm will not impede us more than it already has. And remember this. We are not dealing with a man. We're dealing with the force of nature at this point. You'd be well to keep that in mind.
As the camera pulls back from this conversation, pulls up to these two figures standing in conference, yet somehow slightly tense. You see the camera pull up, and while there was no one on deck, there is a figure in the crow's nest, watching, questioning. And you see the lightning strike and illuminate the dagger that's a crystalline dagger that Steve is playing with between his fingers. But the camera swoops around the main mast and the crow's nest and down to, where do we find Josie?
Well, the ship's cat doesn't like the storm particularly much, and Josie has now eaten, so is no longer hangry. It's also discovered the joy of food and flavor, and is comforting the ship's cat, because the ship's cat is oh so very soft. So I feel like she's got a small pile of snacks next to her, and she's just like in a little corner, snuggled up with the ship's cat. Like, it's all right. Everything will be just fine. The storm will pass, just like every other storm has. Here, have some jerky. There you go. And then just cuddling the ship's cat and eating snacks. She probably has also maybe her little kid's book. It's got the alphabet and like a short story at the end, and she's kind of going over that. Getting better at her reading. Practicing.
So as you're practicing under
Yes.
the decks, as the ship pitches from side to side, the storm illuminating occasionally flashes of lightning through portholes or gun ports, you're comforting your poor wayward ship cat, which is really important to, the prevention of disease and rodents on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
You hear something odd.
I look around.
It sounds like snapping.
Like someone snapping their fingers, or like rope snapping, board snapping.
More like lines snapping.
Oh no. I get up and I start looking for the source of the noise.
You look around. There's nothing in... Well, where are you below decks? Are you on the crew deck? Are you on the gun deck?
Probably
hold?
away from... Yeah, probably the hold, away from people. Where she can have a nice little snack stash. Probably where it's quietest. So probably the hold, because it's more under the
Yeah.
water.
And not in the bilge.
Yeah.
Do not store your snacks anywhere near your bilge pump.
Don't do it.
You hear snapping and you do not see anything anywhere nearby. It's like it's farther away from you, but somehow up.
Alright, kitty cats. You guard the snacks. And I set the cat down in like a little, like, and I imagine Josie's made some sort of a nest. Like there's some old ripped sailcloth that we use for scraps that she's kind of bundled up with the snacks and the book, and she sets the cat in there, gives a little pat on the head, and then goes to look and investigate, because snapping noises are not good noises typically.
Definitely not on a ship.
Mm-mm.
You head out. You can hear another loud snap. Definitely above you.
Okay. Yep. Time to go up the deck.
You head up and up, and you hear another snap again. But this time, it's both louder, as in you're closer, but somehow less heard, as the roll of thunder almost overwhelms it. And you get up on deck. And you see, barely, in the streaks of lightning illuminating the deck, in the driving rain, the figures of Nathaniel and Corinne talking on deck, looking weirdly close, but not happy.
Oh, okay.
Just tossed off deck. That's how correct.
And that's how Corinne.
And that's how Corinne met Pocket Brick.
Yeah.
And then you hear it again, that snap. You look around and you realize it's one of the lines. A bunch of the lines are letting go,
Ugh.
but no one can hear it over the roll of the storm. And as you look
Yeah.
up the main mast, you see the last of the lines holding the yardarm in place let go. Or excuse me, holding the sail to the yardarm let go. And the canvas starts to fall. I will remind you that this is about 50 foot by about 60 foot piece of canvas that is now soaked, falling from the top of the yardarm.
Mm-hmm. She'll look at the two like, how could you guys be standing on deck and not notice this? Be like, the sails, and just go to because she doesn't want it to blow away. Because if it's not attached, that would be bad. Even though it's heavy, I imagine the wind's very fierce right now.
It is strong, but you definitely see it falling downward rather than outward.
Okay, she'll be ready to just stomp on a corner, catch it, get out of the way of it falling so she's not crushed, but get ready to make sure once it hits the deck that she can grab it.
So did you shouted at the two of them?
Yes. The sail!
Nathaniel, Corinne, as you have this very poignantly heated discussion, all of a sudden you hear Josie's voice, almost distant, shouting to you something about the storm, the sail, something. The rolling thunder kind of drowns it out.
If I look around, do I see Josie?
Yes.
Okay.
On deck. Kind of looking up.
I will follow her gaze up.
As you do so, I need you and Corinne to roll me plus blood if you want to get out of the way of the giant, heavy sail that's about to crush you.
Oh. Oh no.
It's a success! Partial!
Yes, it is. So I need a roll plus blood, Corinne. Ooh, 14. Good job. Nathaniel, you kind of like half shove Corinne out of the way as she kind of stumbles even farther, and you fall out of the way of most of the sail, but you do get hit by like the bottom portion of it, like barely, just not enough to do any crushing damage, but enough to kind of pin you in place, and you would take some effort to move yourself out of the way. And again, this isn't the mast. This is the sail on the mast. The giant, heavy piece of canvas. Picture a burlap or painter's canvas the size of a room, soaked through, falling from about 100 feet. And this is now pinned through the middle of the deck. As Josie begins to try and haul it off of people and away from people.
Yep.
What are the rest of you doing? Captain and Isaac, you would have definitely felt this hit the deck. You may not have heard it hit the deck, but you would have felt it as it pitches the ship.
This is off of the main mast, right? So this is like our big, like main sail. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go out and explore and probably stumble upon this horrifying scene.
Yep. Good luck with that, Captain.
Isaac, no, something bad. This is bad. This is not my favorite. This is me as your captain telling you we should figure this out.
Roll up all the sails and point the bow into the waves. Write it out.
Right. When would I get to this part of the deck and see this? Am I watching the sail fall? I've heard the sail fall. Am I just watching Josie try to save Nathaniel at this point?
I mean, Nathaniel isn't being crushed by it. He did get out of the way. He just, is there's just that like one piece that's obviously he's struggling now to get out of the giant blanket of. He is, you definitely see a large sail across the deck as Josie's trying to move it across the deck.
Good Lord. I guess the captain's only recourse in this moment would be to try to help Josie, perhaps. Not that she's the strongest, but just because what else is there to do right now?
All right, so the captain's helping Josie try and move the sail. Isaac is doing what?
I'll just try to steer the ship. Just whichever like unnamed NPC we had on there, just like, all right, out of the way. My turn.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe you have a thing for that, don't you?
I gotta look at the rules. Oh.
I know, it's like
Tragic,
there are
horrid,
rules
how
and
dare.
things. Oh, I don't know if you've taken that move.
No, I've only taken the one.
Okay.
Like, super move.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then, no, you don't get that. But you can roll plus your bond with the ship to see about to see how well you can steer this ship through the storm. On a 6, you do not succeed.
Mark that EXP, sorry guys.
As he goes to steer, you shove the random lackey crewmate out of you go to shove him out of the way, and unfortunately the ship pitches just at the wrong time, and instead of you shoving him out of the way, he falls into you and knocks the wheel around and turns you the exact opposite direction of where you needed to go. So now the storm is to your stern and pushing, well, the storm is to your not your stern but your port and pushing you off track and around. You can barely make out as you kind of stagger to your feet and look around. There's something growing in the open water in front of you.
Good, not good, not good.
That you can see just kind of, nearby and in front of you.
Is it like when we like crest a wave, I can see like, ooh, look at that.
Yeah, and you're getting closer to it, and you probably don't want to get closer to it.
Get off me, unnamed NPC.
Now he needs a name. Now he needs a name.
Joe Bob.
No. None of my.
I know.
His name is Ephraim. He is your secondary helmsman.
From literally go do anything else right now.
And your major complaint about Ephraim, Isaac, is that he is disgustingly sober.
Ugh. A man who doesn't drink isn't one you can trust.
So, Isaac is concerned about what he can see off the prow of the ship. The captain's trying to help Josie. So, Nathaniel, what you doing?
I'm pinned.
You are. Are you trying to get out of it?
Yeah, I'll try to drag myself out from under the sails.
You try and drag yourself out from under the sails. It's gonna take you a little bit, like around, to do so. Mostly just because of the weight of wet canvas. As you do so, but you are not damaged, so there's that. That's a plus, right? And Corinne, what you doing?
I think Corinne's just like needs just to kind of like help Josie and the captain with the sail. At this moment.
So you turn back around after
after Nathaniel pushed me out, yeah.
Daniel's pushed out of the way.
Mhm.
So the three ladies are pulling the sail off of Nathaniel. Isaac's trying to get his queen on the storm. And now we look up and we see the camera pull back as the ship rocks again, and it pulls up to the head of the crow's nest where Steve has kind of put the dagger away because it is now beyond time of like even he can just nonchalantly play with the dagger rolling it between his fingers. He needs to actually hold on to something as he grips the line that holds to the mast and the holds to the edge of holds the mast himself. And he glances out and he shouts down. And Isaac, you can barely make it out as the others are fighting with this large piece of canvas on the deck. The worst word that any sailor could ever hear.
Land.
Maelstrom.
Oh. Well, shit.
What would you like to do, Isaac?
Well, Ephraim, it's been fun. Start writing a last will and testament.
I mean, get us out of there.
Yeah, obviously do your job, Navigator.
Oh!
For those of you who don't know what a maelstrom is, you know when they talk about Scylla or Charybdis or a giant whirlpool in the middle of the ocean that sucks ships down to their death and destruction? That's a maelstrom. And you're sailing right towards it.
I will try to sail away from it.
Do you have a move for that? To help at all? Anything?
I could have taken it, but instead I upped my Spitfire.
I'm not shocked by that. I suppose. No, I didn't. If I can't hear Steve, I can't use command on. If I didn't hear this, I probably can't use command. I get.
You did not hear this.
Okay. Isaac, as the player playing your captain, I strongly advise you use your bond with the ship to help you with this getting out of here.
Yeah, I'll use all the things. bond with the ship and my luck points and
Yep.
all that.
Yep.
6 plus. Let's see. So I have 2 ranks with the ship, and then I could spend all my luck.
Mhm.
All right, here we go, guys. Pray for good rolls. We're going to Baby Island.
I knew it was a real place.
You roll it. I am very happy with that roll as you roll this 12 and you shove Ephraim out of the way and just kind of grip the wheel in both hands. And as you go to actually stand up, you use that motion of you standing to get full range of motion on the wheel to turn as hard as you can to shift the course of the ship. You feel it shift and turn and lurch. Everyone on deck feels this lurch. You just have to pause momentarily in shifting this giant sail as one half of the ship itself pitches so severely that you're almost convinced that you could roll, that Isaac is attempting to roll the ship.
It's a sweet move. I saw it on TV, guys.
Do a barrel roll.
And you feel it swing, that big aft of your vessel swing about, and you catch just enough wind to pull yourself away from the maelstrom, away from being pulled into its
Funnel.
funnel. There really is no other better word than suction here, is there?
Yeah.
Death grip.
That works
Nope.
too.
But
So-
suction is more on brand for Sultry Saturdays, so lean in.
We will lean in. You manage to pull yourself out, and then you can just barely make out the figure of light in front of you, where a break in the storm is not lightning, but actual daylight, not clouds. As you swing northeast, away from the maelstrom.
All right, Ephraim, did you leave all of your belongings to me?
No. And he kind of like reaches a hand and pats you on the cheek. You're not cute enough.
Thank you, could have sufficed.
And he kind of reaches behind him and pulls out a bottle and offers it to you. Like, work with the eyebrow.
Yes. Wait, you don't drink. What's in this?
I don't drink, but others apparently need it to function.
You should drink sometime, Ephraim. It'll make you steer the boat better. Become one with the ship, you know?
Last time I got drunk, lots of people got dead. He just smirks at you and kind of walks away.
Why do we have so many serial killers on the board, the ship?
Pirate!
Pirates.
Pirate ship.
We're more like thieves than killers.
You manage to, the three ladies manage to successfully rescue Nathaniel. You feel the storm, the worst of the wind and rain abating as you finally break cloud cover 10, 15 minutes later. And you are somewhere... Well, Nathaniel knows because Isaac knows because Isaac has a memory of any map he eats. He can just absorb where he is. You guys are somewhere here. Off the coast of off the coast of Dominica. And you feel the rain slowly start to stop. What would you like to do?
Dry up.
We should probably get some new rope for the sail.
Yeah. I think the captain's gonna go to Isaac and ask if it would be worth trying to make a stop to just sort of reassess the ship before we continue on to Port Royal.
We would make much better time if we got that sail back up.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe we should find a port to pull into and do a quick little bit of repair work.
Captain, I don't know if it's you or the rain, but I seem to be awfully wet right now.
It's the rain! The captain's gonna walk away.
In due time, Captain.
I will definitely start issuing orders that we are going to head towards Dominica and get the ship back to get the lines back, give everybody a chance to sort of take a break before we head back to Port Royal.
Whatever the captain tells Josie to do, she kind of goes, but why?
And the captain's just gonna look at Josie and be like, because I said so. Two can play this game, but I've got the captain rank.
Josie looks unaffected, like she doesn't, it hasn't quite clicked that that's sass back. She's just like, okay, because you said so, that's fine. Like,
Oh,
just goes in.
Josie, and I just Josie.
Huh?
Sometimes when you ask but why, and I respond in the same tone that you asked, I'm messing with you. This is called friendship.
So if I said, but why? You would respond.
Because I said so.
Okay.
It's dramatic. It's sass. It's fun. It's how you make friends. You still have to listen to me because, I captain, but
Okay.
you should try it with Nathaniel. Something tells me that it would work very well in your favor to sass him.
All right. I will sass him when I see him next.
Captain's orders.
She goes off to do whatever the captain told her to do to get ready.
So as you're clearing this large piece of canvas, the sun has broken finally from the clouds. There's the hint of a rainbow building off the starboard bow. And the heavy darkness of rain and storm to port. You make your way at say towards Port Royal. And I think that's the perfect time to take the break for the afternoon.
All right then, everyone. Grab something to eat, something to drink, stretch them legs. We will see you again in about 5 minutes. Stick around.
Hello, we are back from break.
Well, the skies are clear. You are heading north towards Guadalupe. The sun is out. It will take you another 4 or 5 days to make Port Royal. You know. If not longer, depending on weather.
And this is post fixing the main sails. That way we're not
Yes.
struggling with loose canvas everywhere.
Yes, indeed. You have a giant mainsail back on your yardarm. You have line. I mean, that kind of repair doesn't require going into port to do. That's something that you have carpenters and, you know, you have you have men on the ship who are designed to do, who are trained in doing this. But we're going to let the camera pan around over to Nathaniel for a moment. Where do we find Nathaniel this day after the storm as you sail north?
Nathaniel would try to get a piece of, like... Are there any mirrors? Does anyone have a mirror?
Roll me d20.
Two.
Yes. You took a shit ton into your treasure hold.
I'm gonna go grab one.
It's a very nice kind of hand mirror with a in silver back with, you know, kind of woven plants around the outside edge of it. Very, very delicate looking, very feminine looking. Obvious roses, but there are like 3 or 4 other types of plants that flowers in particular. Hibiscus, roses, couple birds of paradise kind of looking things. One flower that you can't recognize or identify.
I will just bring it into my room. And from time to time, just keep looking at my face, trying to see if it changes into that other face.
Okay. Nathaniel's staring at himself and trying to evaluate his good looks. Josie, where are you?
Well, I have done whatever the captain told me to do, and I've checked back in on the ship's cat. Eaten the snacks. Kind of cleaned up that area so if someone stumbles upon it, they're not like, oh, what is this? A Josie nest. And then I think she goes to find Isaac.
Okay. Where would she find Isaac?
I'm up where the wheel is, drinking heavily, and I'm like, after you see, this is how you steer the ship while you're drunk. You just go with it and keep it pointed that way.
Ephraim is not there. You are talking to no one.
That's about, yeah, it's fine.
Josie, you see Isaac talking to no one as he kind of leans with the rocking of the ship and just kind of letting it pull him one way or the other as he's got his arm through the helm and letting it kind of stabilize naturally, in that sense of like you have the handles that come out of the helm and he's kind of like put his arm through 2 of them and is letting that, as the ship rocks one way, it pulls him, he lets the weight of the helm pull him the other direction. So
I imagine this isn't the first time she's come upon Isaac like this and talking to no one, so she thinks it's just normal. Isaac!
Josie, Ephraim and I were learning how to drive the ship.
You didn't already know?
I was teaching him the proper way. to
Oh,
do it.
okay. I see. Well, you told me that I needed to try rum.
Yes, you can learn to drive the ship too. Yeah. Drink
Oh,
this.
I can learn to drive the ship?
It's super easy.
Okay.
You just have to drink like 3 or 4 of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot more flavor to rum now.
Keep going, it gets better.
Does it?
The more you drink, the better it tastes.
Okay.
And if you never stop, it's just amazing.
I mean, the captain doesn't, so I assume so.
Josie.
Yes.
Josie.
Yes.
Roll me plus vinegar, please.
Oh, yes. Wonderful.
Just blacks out immediately.
That's a good ol'. Ah, it's a 6.
Well, it's a failure, but
Yes.
as you're
I'll
kind
mark
of
that down.
start chugging this, you kind of like start coughing, and you feel it burning up your nose and down your throat.
Ah.
And that last snack you had,
Oh no!
feel start to come back.
Like,
and you have
why is my
just enough
snack
time.
doing this?
You have just enough time to get to the side of the ship before you lose it. Projectily.
Okay.
I stumble over and I try to like hold her hair. It's her first time. She doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Like
So we have
don't,
this.
don't worry, Jesse. This happens. This happens. You've seen me do this. It's fine.
I didn't know it felt like this though.
No. You see, you just threw up everything you drank, so now you have to re-drink that.
Oh. But it came out my nose. I didn't know things could do that.
The burning will go away. I
Ugh,
promise.
I'm going to have to clean this.
Just plug one nostril and blow it out.
Oh.
If you get a little on the ship, it's fine.
Oh, wow, that was more than I was expecting. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, I think I can breathe again now. Ugh. It gets more fun than this, right?
Yes, trust me. I have so much fun doing this.
Okay.
Just go ahead and yeah, just go a
You're
little bit
like
slower
my best
this
friend,
time.
Isaac. Of course I trust you.
A little bit slower.
Oh, slower. I can do that.
Maybe we'll take it easy. I totally forgot this is your first time, even though you look a lot older than you are.
Okay. Just kind of sip on it then, instead of just downing it like she did the first one.
So as you sip on this, you feel it slowly start to affect you. Your fingers feel tingly. But you can't touch them. Your face feels numb and weird.
Isaac, I can't feel my face.
You're right at the
Can
good
you
part.
can you feel my face? Is it there still?
I can see it. I'll poke it.
Can poke it.
Poking.
Oh.
It's there.
Okay.
This is a good part. So what you have to do is kind of like ride this how you're feeling right now, like for a while. It's the good part.
Okay.
So whenever you feel your stuff start returning to normal, you just drink a little bit more and then just stay right there.
I
All right. Now to the ship. All right. You see, this is
Mm-hmm.
This is the wheel, and this is a
Yes.
compass.
And they're both round.
Yes, and you see that the compass always
It
points
has an N on it
that
and an S.
it's north and south. Yes, and
I
we're
can
trying
read
to.
the letters now.
That's true. I heard you were learning to read, and
Mm.
can you write?
I have done a little practicing in this end.
It's overrated. So what we're trying to do is we're just keeping the ship going that way, like the arrows, pointing that way.
Okay.
We need to keep it right here. So you just take the ship, you just grab a hold, and you just rock with the ship. That's how you steer. You're doing a fantastic job.
As the camera pulls back on this, it swoops down to below decks where Nathaniel is observing himself in the mirror on occasion. And you glance up and you see a face that is not yours in that mirror. Darker, more tanned skin, a little, not a lot. Short, very, very short cropped dark hair. No charming mustache or elegantly styled goatee. Dressed in the most banal and plain of you think might be workman's clothes, in a very kind of dull gray, beige, kind of staring at you questioningly in this image.
Aha! I got you now. Who are you?
The figure in the mirror seems to react to that. Surprise. And shock. And you can see its mouth moving, but you can't hear it. You see an arm kind of like his hand come up to kind of like point at you through the mirror, and you can just make out some heavy tattoos at the bottom of his arm underneath this weird shirt tunic that he's wearing.
Can I attempt to read his lips?
Sure. Do you have a move for that?
No, I don't. But as a connoisseur of lips,
That's one way to put it. I mean, you can use size up.
okay, that's based on vinegar.
Yep.
6. I failed.
He seems to be trying to talk to you. I mean, the very obvious thing that you definitely get is kind of like him enunciating over and over again, like something basic and repetitive, but you can't quite make it out. And then you see him kind of turn his head as if he's talking to someone that you cannot see. And the image fades.
Okay, I am taking that mirror and I'm definitely going to see Corinne with it.
We will follow you as you track towards Corinne with your mirror. Where do we find Corinne?
Corinne's probably in her cabin. She probably hasn't been out ever since the storm. She's going over her books and trying to make sure that this ritual she can do this ritual without any sort of unforeseen effects.
Corinne, you will have definitely had an extra day of recovery, so you are up one more harm from where you were. But you hear a
Come in.
It's me.
Oh, Nathaniel.
And
This is unusual. What's the reason?
I hold up the mirror. I saw him again.
Oh. So it wasn't your face, it was another person's face?
Yes, we even attempted conversation.
Oh, what was that? You communicated with this.
Well, this seems like a short, stocky man with cropped up hair, and
Can you replicate it? Can you show me? Was it in the mirror?
it was
Or was
in
it
the
just-
mirror. It was like as if the person was here, sort of, but only in the reflection.
Yes. Can you do that again? Was there anything unusual that you did both times?
I hold
You
up
saw
the
this
mirror,
after.
and I do the same, like, sort of weird faces I've been doing in the mirror, trying
That
to
smile
call out
face,
that
so-
person. Like, I know you're in here. Come on, show yourself. I'm not crazy. I know what I saw.
Nothing?
This goes on for a few moments, a little while longer. And Corinne, then you would slowly start to see a kind of film, a mist. Not quite a mist, more like a heavy oil slick kind of appear over the mirror. But you can't see anyone in it. Nathaniel, however, sees this figure again, and you feel odd. The figure isn't. You see him standing, and you're kind of trying to gauge height, I guess. He might be equal to you. Again, very close cropped, dark hair. More tanned skin tone than yours, but not by much. The stylish facial hair is missing. And he seems to be enunciating much more slowly and you can barely make it out this time. Can you see me?
I nod yes.
Corinne, you don't see anyone in the mirror, but you see this film, this oily, like what looks like, if we were in a modern parlance, what happens when you have a very light rainstorm on a roadway, just enough to bring the oil slick to the level of the road, and you can kind of see it shimmering and shifting along the roadway. Not enough to actually get rid of it, but just enough to just see it there. But you can't see anyone in the mirror. Yeah, we lost Shauna.
Oh no!
Shauna's muted.
That was weird.
Her
Oh, that
witch.
was strange. Ooh.
Things are all weird now. Quentin, you're Corinne. Shauna, you're now the captain, and Alyssa, you're Isaac. Josie stays Josie, apparently.
Oh,
Drunk
yay!
comment about
Yay.
wrecking the ship and ruining everything.
Why are you steering the ship drunk?
I
I'm
curse
steering
Isaac.
the ship drunk.
I mean, that's gonna.
I accept
Immediately.
your curse, my good ma'am.
And the fates stay the fates because there really
Yes.
isn't one. But Corinne, you don't see anyone.
Oh, unusual. You may be right. Did you see him again?
I'm seeing him right now.
Are you able to glean anything? What does he want?
I want these titties. No, he says no. That's not it. Enunciate. Oh, wait. Shishi.
So I take it not then.
Well, Simon doesn't know how to read lips
Yeah.
properly.
You can't seem to get it.
Well, of course.
He's definitely repeating the same thing over and over. But
I will hold up. Corinne, do you have paper?
Yes. Over here.
All right. I will attempt to write backwards on the paper. Do you have paper?
And flip it and show it to him. So that it translates like, left to right.
he's very confused for a moment and then seems to start writing on the mirror. WHERE
Where?
space IS
Where is?
space IT.
Where is it?
Where is what?
What?
Does this have something?
I'll just.
Nathaniel, did this happen
What?
any time before we took anything from Steel's Horde?
No, it started happening after we clasped hands.
Curious. Now I'm as well. Where is it?
Corinne,
Mm-hmm.
you feel something pricking at the back of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Probing, slightly stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
It can't get through. You're much too well protected. Your beloved sees to that. But you know that there's something outside, not in the direction of this mirror, somewhere away from this ship.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of needling, as if you're trying to unravel a ball of yarn that's gotten tangled, and you're doing it slowly and pulling threads to see, trying to be unnoticed.
Does this feel like an intrusion, basically?
An attempt at one.
I think Corinne, when she feels that, she will force as she can, like, just force Nathaniel's hand, flip it up, face down, and just slam it on the table. No, that's it. I felt it. Whoever that was, I felt them at the back of my mind.
You still feel it pricking at you. It's not coming from the mirror.
What is it? Whoever you are, just reveal yourself to me. If you want something, we can talk. If you continue like this, I will not be held responsible for what happens to you. But if you want anything, stop this. She'll be like clasping her ring and maybe like her book.
I want what is mine, little girl.
You. Soon. You. Oh, it is you. I figured. I was wondering. when I should be expecting you.
Did you like my little gift?
I liked it enough. I got to spend quality time with my beloved. So thank you. And soon, Steel, you'll be seeing a lot of us. And thank you for the gifts.
You don't hear a response, and that kind of pricking feeling in the back of your mind goes away. Nathaniel, it feels weird. It feels like your hand wants to move by itself.
What?
Feels almost like it wants to flip that mirror over. But you don't, like, you feel it start to do so, but you didn't desire to.
Corinne?
What is it?
Oh no, I mistagged my thingy.
I got it, don't worry.
Thank you. Corinne, my hand wants to move by itself. And not for the usual reasons.
He has control over... How?
I can still...
That was him. He talked to me. He knows we took something from him. We took everything in that horde.
Who him?
Who else?
Steel.
Yes, he... Yes, that storm was his. He said so. What does it want you to do?
It wants me to flip the mirror around.
And I think Corinne is just gonna pick it up and just slam it on the table, like with enough force. This time it's not face down, and she wants to break it.
As you go to flip the mirror and break it, Nathaniel, your hand literally reaches out and stops this mirror from being broken.
I can't help myself. It's like a stranger is in control of my hand and not in the fun way.
And the figure in the mirror looks at the two of you and says two words over and over and over again.
Says what?
Well, three words, technically. And it takes a while. It takes a couple of minutes or moments. And you can get it, Nathaniel. And Corinne, you definitely recognize it. It's repeated over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Steel. And then, Nathaniel, as you watch, you see that figure almost desperate, kind of like reach towards you. And seems to want to express something, but the words are too complex. The concept isn't an easy sentence. It's not 3 or 4 words. It's not something that you can decipher easily. And it doesn't seem to be anything that he can literally just write on a mirror in reverse. but you see a level of desperation when he can finally just say, Steel is enemy. And then the mist starts to form slowly as a pull. You feel it kind of, this figure disappear again from the mirror.
Okay.
Steel is enemy.
Could it be that this is someone that's Teal imprisoned in a mirror?
It's entirely possible. He did imprison 2 entities already. Not to say that you couldn't do that with a person. If that's not Steel, you need to find out who that was. We need to find out who that was. Because they might have something that we need. If we have time, I can offer up something. Since I can communicate as well with my beloved, I believe I may have some sensitivity to things like this. If I can find the right ceremony, the right incantations, I can maybe offer to be a medium for this, whoever this is. And that barrier of non-communication, we can bypass that. It's dangerous, but I do have my beloved's protection, and I, of any of the others, physically cannot lash out as dangerously. Because if it was important enough to come at you twice, it's obviously important. And if it involves something that we've taken, more so.
Do you think you can keep the mirror?
I can look at it, see if it's the mirror or if it's you. As you said, the first time it was without the mirror, correct?
But it was a reflection.
So that's all it needs. If we do something, we do it dead of night. Where its powers are strongest, where that veil between our world and that world is at its thinnest, and maybe we can get some answers.
Okay.
And if anything comes up, you tell me. I'll tell you if I've visited by anything else again. Because we're so close, and we do not want to be held up by any information that we needed when the time is right. Because who knows who this is? Do you trust me on this?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need your trust if anything happens. If it takes over, or worse. I'll do what I can in the meantime. Well, thank you for bringing this to me. This is important. We'll do this. We'll find out what this is. And we will overcome this. We will have the freedom to do what we need to do. But in the meantime, you rest. Spend your time with Jersey, and I will figure this out. Because I am still quite drained from the previous days. I'm gonna need all my strength to do this.
All right.
It will be okay. And she'll kind of like grab you by the top of the arm and kind of walk you toward the door. It's difficult when you have things to lose, isn't it?
Yeah. I am not accustomed to fear.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I have things that I love, and I fear I won't have them. And we must be strong. Do what we must. Now, I need my time.
As
And
close the
Nathaniel
door.
exits, and we'll see him walk, we turn the camera to the captain for a moment.
I'm gonna go find Steve and encourage him to come with me to my office and sit down.
Okay. Why?
When we're alone, I'll tell you.
He will follow you to your office.
You sit down in the quarters, Steve. Shut the door. Steve, I
He's
have
a
two bits of news for you. One you might like and one you will not.
Okay.
Tell me, Steve, which do you want first, the good or the bad?
Whatever.
God. Was I this bad when I was your age? 16 was a rough time. Well, let's start with the bad, then. The bad news is Isaac would like to commission you to help him with a project, and you're going to do it.
I thought you said I wasn't supposed to listen to Isaac.
Yes, I've said a lot of things that sometimes I find myself backtracking on, but I need you to listen to him, and I need you to tell me everything that he sets you up to do. I don't
Okay.
think he's planning anything that would betray me and go against me, but I need to know what he's up to. And I think he's speaking true, that whatever he's doing is for the benefit of the crew. But I also am not in a position to trust a man that tried to cause a mutiny on my ship.
Okay.
I believe he said it was a pickpocketing mission, which is why he was calling on you. Which I assume we will talk about that at some point, that there must be boundaries with your pickpocketing to an extent.
Rob from the crew.
That is a good boundary, yes. But at some point, we might have to talk about things that you pick up along the way. The good news is that, well, I suppose this is up to you, Steve. You are a man grown at 16. I need to get your opinion on this. How would you feel about me formally adopting you?
Why?
Well, the tax benefits are great for both of us should we ever get taxed by another country, but that's not going to be a problem. It's to ensure that the ship continues. Now, I originally drafted this ship so that way it would go to our dear navigator. The idea was simple, that should anything happen to me, it would go to him, but then he's proved to be not as trustworthy as one would hope, so I also just feel like, as somebody that had no parents, well, I had parents, but they were... Let's leave them out of this. I am basically looking to keep the de Rochefort name going without having to go through the difficulties of procuring a husband and child. This saves a lot of steps.
I don't want to know. No.
I won't tell you about those things, Steve. I'm saying if you would like to be Steve de Rochefort, this is a chance you'll get a bigger cut. You'll get the benefit of having a name that has some weight.
I get a bigger cut.
You would get a bigger cut. You could have a title on the ship even if you want. You know, when you're a little older, perhaps.
Okay.
Okay. I will say, though, for the record, the ship is still technically going to Isaac, but should anything happen to me, you would get to be the captain. You might have the ship, but you have the title. Therefore, you have the power.
Okay, so the rule about never listening to Isaac is still in effect, right?
Save for this whatever mission he's putting you on. Yes.
Okay. And
To
this
be
particular mission,
to
I
be
have
fair-
permission to rob who I want.
Yes. But to be fair, technically, should you agree and I were to become your mama, you can tell Isaac to do whatever you want. And he has to listen
Okay.
to you as you would be promoted up the ranks above him. You're young, you'd probably start as second mate in this case, but you would still technically be above him.
Sure. Can I go now? Because you're getting creepy.
I'm not getting creepy, you're creepy! Don't talk to your mother that way.
You're not my mother yet. And he just kind of walks out the door.
That's fine. I'm just going to take a second and be like, that went about as well as I was expecting. Teenagers. They're just the worst.
And as we see Nathaniel leaving Corinne's quarters, we see Steve walk by, register Nathaniel leaving Corinne's quarters slightly quizzically, and then continue up to Isaac at the helm and been like, so the captain said you need me to steal something.
Look, I'm driving the ship.
Oh, hey, Josie, did you know that that Nathaniel and Corinne were like, I don't know, he was in her quarters? It was weird.
I look over at Isaac.
Maybe it was friends.
I mean, yeah, they're friends. They've been friends for a while. They talk about a lot of shit. They talk about Ignatius Steele and swearing oaths and plotting murders.
What do you mean swearing oaths and plotting murders? Why isn't Nathaniel plotted any murders with me? I'm really good at that.
Just 1 second. Who's murder, Steve?
Like a whole bunch of people.
I'm so good at murders.
Is it me?
I don't think so.
Is it the captain?
Probably not.
Josie?
Maybe.
What?
No, I don't think Nathaniel's plotting your murder, Josie. I'm pretty sure Corinne is, though.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that they're plotting Ignatius Steele's murder, though.
I can see what if Corinne was trying to kill me, why she wouldn't consult me on the murders, but I don't know why Nathaniel wouldn't ask me. I have so much murder experience. And just take some more rum.
Yeah, that's probably fine, Jesse. You probably need a little bit more at this point. Steve, so I needed you, I guess, cat's out of the bag. I need you for a special mission.
Okay, what am I stealing? And do I get to keep it?
I don't know. Corinne
fair.
has something that she got in the cave. And
You want
apparently
me to
that's
steal
what,
from the witch?
yes. And apparently that's what she needs to summon her demon and plunge the world into eternal darkness, and she becomes our queen overlord person.
I'm not sure about the whole summoning demon thing. That seems like not cool.
It isn't cool. And also
Okay.
by doing so, you, I guess, maybe prevent Josie's murder as well.
So does that mean Corinne is like mind controlling Nathaniel?
I'm going to be right back. You should take the wheel, Isaac.
The ship kind of steers itself sometimes. It's fine.
Okay, I'll just let go of him.
You let go and the ship just continues on. Very calm, very steady.
Good ship.
The one thing, Steve, is I don't know what she found in the cave because I wasn't there.
Okay, so what am I stealing?
I
The
don't know.
box.
What?
The box. It's where all the demons lived.
Okay, what kind of box is it?
Is a small box. And she was having a very hard time getting it open. And she didn't ask me for help. I'm a very good box opener, too.
So did she get it open? Because then shit might be what's inside the box.
It went... And it just opened by itself.
So it got open. Do you know what was in it that I'm... Because, like, am I stealing the box or what was in the box? Because, like, what was in the box?
I don't know, because I just...
But what was in the box?
I don't know. I was breathing for the first time at that point.
Oh,
it was
is
very
this new to
strange.
you? And she kind of, like, he kind of pokes you?
Yes.
Apparently, she was like created somehow.
Cool. Oh, that's weird.
I didn't need to breathe, and I couldn't float. I just sank in the water. And
Okay.
fire didn't bother me. I don't think it does still, because I grabbed a candle last night, and I was fine.
No, fire probably hurts. A little bit.
No!
Okay, so I'm supposed to steal whatever is in the box
Or
that
the
Corinne
box.
is, the creepy sea witch is using to control Nathaniel and possibly plot Josie's murder with.
Yes.
I'm going to go
Okay.
see Nathaniel now if he's being mind controlled, because I know what that feels like, and it's not very fun.
Josie, so when you're under the influence of rum, you
Mhm.
do say things that sometimes you regret. It's the only thing. Only
What do you
sometimes.
mean?
I mean, like, Isaac regrets, like, half the stuff he says.
Not even in the slightest.
Oh,
I
you
think.
say a lot of things.
I do. But just be good luck, Josie.
Okay. She kind of just gives you like pats on the face, and then goes to
So-
stumbles below deck to find
As
Nathaniel.
Josie stumbles below deck, we see Steve kind of glance at Isaac, shrug, and head below decks another way. As if he's going to go see if he can figure out what Corinne is doing. But we're going to follow Josie for a minute as she goes to look for Nathaniel. Where would
Stumble-
Josie look for
stumble.
Nathaniel?
Well, he was seen leaving Corinne's quarters, so I think she starts there. And then she looks, and then just keeps going down the hallway. Because he's left, he's not there anymore. And then I think she kind of wanders around the crew quarters, maybe ends up at his quarters. It takes her a few minutes. She stops for a few sip breaks.
Nathaniel, you hear a loud stumbling kind of fall into the door of your quarters.
I open the door.
Nathaniel,
And Josie falls into your arms.
Just oh,
I found you.
yes, you reek of rum. Oh no. This was your first. You've never gotten drunk before. Oh no.
This is my first time.
I figured
Isaac
this.
let me steer the ship.
Yes.
He's teaching me.
Because when you're drunk you sway just like the ship sways, so you can steer it more properly.
That's what he said. I think she kind of puts her hands on his face. Like, looks at him. A little sway. Are you being mind controlled? Blink twice for yes.
I'm being squished at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I look at my hand, and I'm like, it happened earlier. Someone tried to control my hand.
He was right. This isn't good, Nathaniel.
No, it's not. But I left the mirror with Corinne, so she can take care of that.
Why did you leave it with Corinne?
Because I don't know shit about people stuck in mirrors and whatever spells Ignatius Steele is doing.
What? No. I'm confused.
It's going to be okay. And you'll just...
No, not if Corinne is mind controlling you to plunge the world in the darkness and maybe kill me.
He's gonna put both hands on Josie's shoulder, both to stabilize her and to reassure her. Josie, I am
I
not...
thought she was mind controlling you. And so I came down to check on you.
She is not mind controlling me. I am completely, except for my hands a few minutes ago, completely in charge of my body. And my mind.
Were you around Corinne when you were not in control of your hands? Wait.
As a matter of fact, yes. But it wasn't her. It was the mirror.
Oh.
The mirror wanted me to flip it around.
Are you sure it wasn't her just being a sneaky witch.
Corinne's my friend. I don't think she'd ever do that to me.
I may have forgotten to crush the eggshells this morning.
It's gonna be alright, Josie.
I don't know. I don't trust Corinne because she's got the demon and he's not good.
We all have a demon.
No, like an actual shadowy thing.
And you had an actual villainous warlock.
I don't think he wants to plunge the world into darkness, though.
Might want to plunge the world into blood all over the place.
People do that all the time. Also, you were plotting murder and you didn't even consult me.
I was going to consult you, Josie.
You talked to Corinne about it first? Then she might even be mind controlling you.
Look, I need to settle the score with Steel.
Know where he lives, we can just go there.
We can't get to him on his own turf. He's probably got a bunch of tricks up his sleeves wherever he is. We need to catch him by surprise. I wanted to talk to you about it, but then there was the storm, and the weird reflections, and my face.
But tell me about these reflection things.
No, don't stop, Josie.
Isaac said I had to keep it going.
Why?
Because it's the sweet spot.
Do you know what happens if you keep going for too long?
No, I've never done this before.
Oh.
He said you could go forever, and the captain kind of does, so I thought it would be fine.
Okay. Do you trust me, Josie?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do something. And it's very important that you trust me. And that what I'm about to tell you is purely because I love you.
Okay.
Take the bottle
Mm-hmm.
and drink it all in one swig.
I did that earlier, and then all my snacks went out my nose.
Oh, then it already happened. Okay, good. That's what happens when you keep the sweet spot going for too long.
What happens when you start and if you keep it going for too long?
Yep.
Isaac held my hair. Would you hold my hair?
I would hold any part of you.
Okay. You still need to tell me about this mirror thing.
I'm gonna go sit on the side of my bed and just like pat the place next to. And she crashes on the bed.
And then she rolls over. I'm listening.
During the storm, there was a thing, a face that appeared.
A face thing.
I thought it was my face. I thought I wasn't, you know, beautiful anymore. But it wasn't the case.
You'll always be beautiful.
I'm fairly sure you're attempting to touch my face right now, but you're
Yes, I
3
can't
feet
reach
next
it.
to me.
You're so high up.
I figured it was something weird about the storm, so I went to see Corinne. And now you know the entire rest of the story. The sale fell on me.
What did she say about the mirror, though? You said that you couldn't break it?
No, the person inside is an enemy of steel.
Oh God! Did you make friends with him? Did you like find out his name?
No, it's very hard actually to get anything across. We can't speak.
Oh,
We have to write.
well, you're very good at that. So
I am. That's how I learned that he was an enemy of steel.
okay. So what's his name? How are we going to help him out?
That's what Corinne is trying to do.
I don't think Corinne's going to want to help him. She'll want to use him for her own witchy things. 'Cause that's
Aren't
what
we
she
using him
does.
for our own ends anyway? If we try to help him out to kill steel?
I didn't say he had to help us kill Stu. I just said we should help him out because he sounds stuck. And we know he's not going to try to kill us because he doesn't like steel.
But I know next to nothing about magic mirrors.
I heard a story once where you look into a mirror and you say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?" And then they tell you about a girl that's somewhere else. And then you try to kill them.
Okay, but I'm fairly sure if
With
I
fruit.
ask that of a mirror, the only thing that I will see is my face.
Probably, but you never know.
There's nobody fairer than me in all of the Caribbean.
But what about the world?
I'm fairly certain I'm up there in maybe the top 3.
What about the guy who kissed you? He was pretty fair.
The guy who kissed me? Which one?
Did you already forget? It was right after we opened the bottle.
Oh, the genie!
His name wasn't Genie. It was Serac.
Yeah, see, I've kissed a lot of people in my life. I tend to, it just blurs after a while. Except you.
Okay, I was going to ask you, but I wasn't sure how to put the words together. I think you should be friends with the mirror person. And maybe not give everything to... I don't trust Corinne.
I know you don't.
Someone said she was going to try to murder me. Maybe.
Then I will be there to protect you. I will not let a single person lay a finger on you. Even if it means I have to kill everyone.
Okay. But we really need to stop her demon. It's bad. I mean, it has the word demon in its name. Corinne's demon.
That's because we don't know his name.
Actually, we do. It was... Because Serac told us when I was asking about questions about being a real girl. He said his name. Oh, wow. Does rum make you sleepy? It makes me very sleepy.
Yes. I'll tuck Josie in. And I'll
She's definitely like using your lap as a pillow.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie down next to her and just like cradle her as she falls asleep.
As you cradle her to fall asleep, you hear a voice in your head, Nathaniel.
Way to ruin the moment, disembodied voice.
Yeah. Sorry about that. You know, not all knowing or all seeing, can only see little bits of things. You recognize the voice as that of Sarak. And he just kind of like slowly, if we were to compare this to a modern comparison, materializes in a chair in the corner of your room as if like a transporter had like let him appear. That kind of fade in that happens. Negligently kind of leaning against the back of the chair, his legs crossed in front of him, leaning backwards. A beverage in his hand, just kind of swirling it as he holds it. And he looks at you and goes, "So, having fun yet?"
Well, I mean, if you're intent on looking on, I normally require pay for that.
I don't usually do the whole voyeurism thing. It's much more my preference to be participant if there's multiple parties. But no, that wasn't my thing at the moment.
Then why are you here?
I noticed a little change that happened. I did promise to keep watching because, watching is the fun part.
We're just going to sleep.
Oh, not about that. You are seeing people in mirrors now.
Yeah.
Family is such a complicated thing.
Maybe.
Making promises with witches, bound to demons, that can change a man.
I would really appreciate if you stop peeking into my life.
Making blood pacts in the middle of a storm attracts attention. It's not my fault you played with cosmic entities that you're not aware of and therefore drew the attention of beings beyond your control.
I will do whatever is necessary to make sure that Josie and I are safe.
So, question for the audience. I need to know, mostly because I'm probably going to put some money on this. The betting is kind of opened up and the bookie is, a thing. Since I have this in with you, I figure why not get some insider knowledge before I attempt to place my bets. Will you let Josie die for your revenge?
No.
Remember, there are consequences to every choice you make, Nathaniel Ashworth. And your family is very interesting. Seems like you like to get involved with a lot of stabby things in your family lineage. And a bunch of them like to come around at inopportune times. But if you're going to try and break a blood pact, well, my life has just gotten that much more interesting. She's really not going to enjoy waking up, by the way. You might want to have like a bucket or something. I think it'd be to your benefit. And if you wanted to remember the name of my unfortunate companion, his name is Sezath. Remember, names have power. And he just kind of seems to start to fade as he slightly waves at you from his chair.
I'll just stroke Josie's hair. And probably fall asleep with her.
And as the camera pulls back, we see the camera focus in on Steve. Kind of glancing around. It's late. Night has fallen. There's no moon out tonight. There's no storms. So there's no streaks of lightning to lighten anything under the decks. Corinne, you've fallen asleep over your books. There's a slight moment we see of Steve just looking through this door that's cracked oh so subtly. No one heard the tumblers shift in the door lock with his very skillful fingers. Kind of drifts into the room, looks around, pulls the dagger, that crystalline dagger that he's been playing with, pulls it out of in his hand and lets it drift. And it slowly starts to glow as he kind of drifts around the room with playing through his fingers. And as he gets closer to Corinne as she sleeps upon her books, he slides the dagger right underneath the small leather thong that she's tied that ring to around her neck, and slowly pulls it off and walks very carefully out of the room. Lets the door close, relocks it, kind of holds it out in front of him, holds the dagger in one hand, lets it roll through his fingers, looks back to the ring, slides the dagger into the sheath of his back, swings the thong with the necklace ring around his finger a few times, lets it wrap around his finger, grabs it in his hand, and makes his way to the captain's, or to Isaac, as requested. Isaac, who's mostly intoxicated at this point, but standing still at the helm.
Steve, is that you? It kind of looks like you.
Yeah. You asked for something, I got it for you.
What? Oh, already? What is it?
And he kind of pulls the ring off this with this leather thong.
Oh my!
Holds it out to you.
I don't want to. I'll pull out like a rag or cloth, like tear a chunk off my jacket. And
he drops it at you, kind of gives you a 2-finger salute, and walks away whistling as he kind of starts to climb the rigging up to the top of the crow's nest.
Thank you, Steve.
Captain says I get to order you around now.
What?
And yeah, I rank you now. It's cool.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, and I totally can't wait for Nathaniel to totally kill Josie on Corinne's order. It'll be epic. Big fight time.
Steve, are you okay?
You just had me rob a witch. Define okay.
I'd stop yelling about it.
It's not like anyone can hear us. They never hear me.
Well, thanks again, Steve. I want to go down to the brig and find Roland.
We will follow you down to the brig where Roland Fitzgeoffrey is imprisoned.
Am I interrupting?
He looks very disheveled. But he seems to be attempting to maintain that level of stiff upper lip Britishness and naval imperialness. Yeah, power. And kind of glaring at the gate, the door.
I suppose not. You know, I kind of remember the situation reversed a little bit.
Is there something you desire, Isaac?
Yes. What can you tell me about Ignatius Steele?
He kind of looks slightly quizzical at that, and like he is a gentleman of worth and quality and title.
Yes. What can you tell me about him? Do you know
I know he
anything-
has the king's ear.
anything beyond the surface level? Like, what's like 6 feet under?
Isaac, I'm a first lieutenant in the British Navy. I follow orders. I don't ask questions. That's why I'm still a member of the British Navy, and you're, well, dishonorably discharged and expelled.
Asking questions and drinking heavily should not warrant an expulsion.
I mean, they wanted to flog and execute you, so...
I mean, it could have been worse, yeah?
There was flaying mentioned.
That sounds worse. What? I don't know what we're going to do with you. I think we kind of forgot about you for a little bit.
I can tell I haven't eaten anything in a day and a half.
I will bring you something and some rum. Water's hard
Actual
to come by.
rum or the
but we
rot
have-
gut that you... Actual rum or the rot gut that you seem to think is drinkable?
The rot gut. Water is hard
Don't
to come
you have
by.
like that... Don't you have that, like... Nathaniel, isn't he a member of your crew? Doesn't he have something better to drink?
I'm asleep.
He might. Do you want Nathaniel? Do you want me to send him in here?
No, I don't swing that way, as you well know.
It could get lonely down here in the brig.
No, but he drinks much better than the rest of you.
Yes, but he's busy murdering things.
I mean, to be fair, he does help set a very fine table, and I do enjoy doing business with the gentleman frequently.
Yes, but you don't know anything else about Steele.
I know he likes to murder people, or have people murdered. You don't end up on the wrong side of Ignatius Steele, not Nathaniel, Ignatius Steele.
Whom would I curry favor with if you were to escape from here with the help of me?
Well, I assume the Admiralty as a whole.
Okay, interesting. Would
Perhaps Sir Erasmus Mullins. He is, of course, the Bishop of Port Royal and has the ear of the governor. If I could bring him more information about the horrible attempts by pirates to escape his control.
So perhaps I might get immunity should we say we all get captured?
Isaac.
Roland.
Roll me parlay.
What skill does that use? Is it polish?
It is a basic move, and it is polish.
Not there to help. Sorry. Can't give you
Nope, no one's there to help.
I was gonna say no one can give you a negative bond in this case.
I already have a negative in polish. It's fine.
Cool.
I charm the pants off of him.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you don't. Why would you give? Why would I trust you, Isaac? You've never followed through on a promise in all of our lives.
But people can change, yes? What if I followed through on one promise? I'm weighing my options here. So there's some big hubbubalub going down around me, and I need to know I have an escape route.
You're trying to play both sides against the middle again, aren't you?
I might be able to play like 4 sides against everyone.
So... No, you're a lying, cheating scumbag who drinks cheap alcohol and thinks that it tastes good. Also, you smell horribly.
That cannot be helped.
You could bathe once in a while.
There's literally nothing you can do about it.
It is indeed a failure to communicate. I think I will just relax here. There's nothing you have that I want, Isaac.
Could we just say this conversation never happened then? And I'll bring you some food and see about, I don't know, maybe water. I don't know. Do we keep that on this ship somewhere? Maybe.
And with that, the camera pulls back from Isaac, attempting to convince Roland Fitzjeffrey not to share the fact that he was attempting to make a deal. As the camera pulls back, we see the boat or ship as it pans north towards Jamaica. And we see the island of Hispaniola coming into view as the ship begins to work its way towards Jamaica. But I think that's where we're going to end it for today.
One day we'll get to Port Royal.
We're all going to murder each other before then.
I know!
I like how the crew is slowly splitting into factions.
We all good?
Yeah. There's the Josie faction, there's the Steve faction.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
And then
Captain,
there's
what's
the Isaac faction.
just Isaac?
There's the demon faction.
Captain is just
Captain's just like, oh no. The
Captain's
children.
just like,
The children are plotting.
I can't control any of my kids. All of this is a bad time.
This is all bad. All of it.
It's like giving all of the kids something high in sugar just before you want to put them to bed and then just letting them run loose.
Yep. That said, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to Mage and Press, to Roll20, to Found Familiar. Thank you to our partners, Level Up Dice. Let's go around the table. Thank you, players. But let's go to you now and tell us what you have going on. If there's anything that you wish to plug, go right ahead. We'll start with Isaac.
So, I don't know. I just like and retweet things. So, Thragon in chat, Thragon on Twitter, Thragon in basically like every game I ever play. So, if you see me in an online, maybe like game somewhere, just be like, hey, aside from that one show. And I'll be like, nice. But what you guys should do is just follow and like everything that all these guys are doing, because they do way more than I do. Even Alyssa, like, she actually posts things, and it's actually pretty good. So definitely like, comment, and like silly gifs all over her stuff that she does. That's all I got.
All right. Speaking of Alyssa, she's next.
I am next, and I have nothing to plug right now except for following all of these wonderful people and continuing to show up every Saturday for Sultry Saturdays. But I am Xander Slamilton here on Twitch and here in the Twitterverse. I am around on the Twitterverse for anything you want to tell me. I respond sometimes, less so as work gets crazy, but I am there. Thank you, everyone, as always. This is always so much fun.
Next is Lindy.
That's me. Hi. That was so much fun. Drunk Josie was fun to play, and shenanigans. And oh my gosh, we're all gonna die. We're all just gonna kill each other. It's gonna be the worst. Can't wait to see what happens. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. There's games usually on my channel every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And just follow me on the Twitter to see what I'm doing elsewhere when, because there are also several of those.
Shauna.
Hey, oh my god, there's so much plotting. I'm so happy. There's so many different sides on this ship. Corinne's gonna be super mad tomorrow morning. Just watch out. Next session. I can't wait. She hasn't been mad yet. But yeah, I'm Shauna Flying Cirrus on Twitter, where you're gonna have all the art and the streams I do throughout the week. You can catch me next, actually, in a little while, on the Encounter Roleplay's Fey Grinder, which we're doing a community meet grinder for EncounterCon, and we're most of us are gonna die. I guarantee most of us are gonna die.
And Deirdre.
Oh, hey, y'all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, Praxworth as me for you. See me around on Twitch. And I loved every minute of this because as I said, there are consequences to your choices, people. And you can find me next, back here on Monday for some fun times in Venice. And drama and flirting. Hashtag team flirting and drinking. And then Wednesday over on Lindy's channel for some Witcher Family of Wraiths, because there will totally not be any problems with banshees and undead and breaking curses and such things. So other than that, check my Twitter because I just post where I'm going to be, all the fun things I get to do, all the fun, wonderful people I get to hang out with and tell stories with. And there might be something more coming in the future. So stay tuned.
And we will be back here on Monday for some more fun
Castle
Castle
Falkenstein.
Falkenstein. We're also going to play Dragon Age again on Thursday. And Friday we'll be back with Cyberpunk Red. And then next Saturday another episode of Black Flag. We also have a Patreon. Check us out at patreon.com/wanderingdm if you would like to get your hands on the encounter of the month that we give out to our patron, and also the monthly workshops on players and GMs. The monthly workshop for this month is tomorrow, and then on September, the one for September is going to be very special because we're going to tackle a lot of communication and miscommunication at the table, both for players and for GMs. So if you want to check that out, check out patreon.com/wanderingdm. Thank you everyone for coming. I wanted to raid someone that was playing a game that I wanted everyone to see. Unfortunately, their stream just ended, so we'll just end it here. And we will see you next week for some more piratey shenanigans. Thanks everyone for coming. Have a good day. Bye-bye.